Hello, hi, how's it going? Welcome back to my Chanel. I made a very last minute decision in putting this candle here. I think it kind of looks cute. I think it kind of looks like gothic, but it could be distracting. So if it is, I'm sorry. But welcome to this video and welcome to my TBR. I feel like I haven't filmed a TBR video in a very long time. And I'm so happy that you're here with me today. It feels like I haven't done a TBR video in like a really long time. And I've honestly missed you. Like, how have you been? What's new? How's your mom? If I release this video before the book organization video, ignore this. Ignore it. It doesn't, you don't need, we don't need to talk about it, Tiffany. We don't need to talk about it. Don't talk about it. It's fine. Don't worry. I hope I put out the organization video before I put out this video. I think I might try to, honestly, because I really don't want to like ruin the surprise. But anyway, should we start talking about books that I'm gonna read in May or that I want to read in May? I think we should. First of all, before we even talk about any of that boring stuff like books, let's talk about what I have planned for May. There's a few things that I'm really excited for. My best friend, Samantha, as I'm sure you know, I talk about her all the time. Like, you must be like tired of it by now. But my best friend, Sam, is gonna come visit me. She's gonna be here for like, I think 4 days. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. We're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna vlog. I'm still gonna do a weekly vlog that week with her here. I think it's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna go book shopping. We're gonna eat so much food. We're gonna make food. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And then she's also gonna see the apartment for the first time, which I'm really excited for because this place is such a big milestone for me and I really wanna share it with her. And so, like, words can't describe how excited I am. Anyway, also in May, my patrons on patreon.com/Jordaline reads and I are gonna be reading Any Man by Amber Tamblyn, along with Katie Coulson and her little Katie Coulsons. On my Patreon and on Katie's Patreon, the combined power of my patrons and Katie's patrons are called the Bunnies. Listen, it's honestly an honor. I'm so excited to have Katie on my Patreon. I'm excited to go on her Patreon, but I can't wait. So we're gonna be reading this with Katie. Katie's gonna be reading with us. This though, it doesn't sound like a fun book. It's about a bunch of men who are R-worded by a serial R-worder, their stories. And it sounds awful. Like, it sounds, I mean, not awful, but like it sounds very sad. And I imagine it's got a lot of trigger warnings, but either way, I'm excited. Because also this is the kind of book that everybody like talks about and everyone's like, it's amazing, this is the best or whatever. And so I'm excited. And I'm excited to do it with Katie. Ugh, love her, love her. She's the best. And then also I plan on doing a Dark Academia reading vlog again in May. And I may be currently doing that reading vlog right now. There are a few books that I kind of have my eye on in terms of like Dark Academia vibes and Dark Academia books to add to this reading vlog. Let's talk about them, okay? First of all, I am currently reading Vita Nostra. I think this is translated from the Russian. Why did I say it like that? If I'm being honest with you, Tiffany, and I only ever want to be honest with you, I don't love this cover. Like, I'm not living. It's very much giving me bargain bin book. Which is like rude to say, I know, but like that's how I feel about it. I'm currently reading this for the Dark Academia reading vlog, and if you're looking at it and you're like, what is that even about? Let me tell you, Tiffany, this is about this girl named Sasha, right? Sasha is like a regular, everyday average kind of girl. She is like 16 years old and she's going on a little vacation in the summertime with her mom. I think they're going to like Greece or something. And when they get there, Sasha like books it to the ocean. Like, she's like, I need to get into that water like that. I need to swim around and be free or whatever. A few days pass and she starts to notice that this guy, this like older man, is like looking at her and like constantly staring at her. Like, she sees him everywhere and he's just, and so she's freaked out. And so she tells her mom, and her mom is like, you're literally crazy. Like, he's probably just like a nice guy, whatever. Be a better parent, but okay. And then this guy also starts to follow her. And again, she's like, Mom, this guy is like following me. It's like super suspicious and I'm really uncomfortable. And her mom is like, you're literally crazy. He's just a nice guy. What are you talking about? Ugh. It's not great. It's really not great. And then this guy eventually talks to her and he's like, hey, I'm like not a pervert, like don't even worry about it, I'm not gonna like do anything suspicious, I just need you to do a few things for me. And he basically like blackmails her into doing these tasks, but they're like weird. Like he tells her every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, get up and go to the ocean and swim out to the buoy and make sure you touch the buoy. And he says to do that every single day. She does. After she does the thing, the first day, she comes back to shore. She's like, I feel like I'm glowing. And then she pukes. She pukes up a bunch of random gold coins. Gold coins that don't belong in that country, in any country. Like it's not part of any currency in the world. They're just random, so it's just bleh, and then like a pile of coins. He's like, okay, I need you to do like another task. So he has her run around a park every morning and then pee in bushes. Like it's weird. But then eventually he's like, you know what, you're free, it's fine, go ahead, like live your life. And at this point she's like 19, 18 years old and she's like, I gotta get into university. Universities are very, very competitive and she can't seem to get into any. But then he comes back and he's like, hey, I want you to go to this university. This is like one of your tasks. And she's like, you want me to go to this tiny university in the middle of buff nowhere that nobody has ever heard of with like a super weird name? And he's like, yes. And she's like, what am I going to tell people? And he's like, not my problem. You'll have to figure it out, won't you? She does end up going to that university. It's called like the Institute of Special Technologies or something like that. Thus begins really like the book. I've spent so long talking about this. We should move on. But what I will say, I'm about 60% of the way through, and it might be my favorite book of the year. Like I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. But anyway, I have a few more dark academia books. I'm gonna try to quickly go over them. Also, because I really don't know what they're about. This one is called Gentlemen and Players by Joanne Harris. This reminds me so much of like the 90s. This is for some reason giving me like Dead Poet Society. I don't know why. This is, according to the internet, dark academia. According to the internet, this is like, you know, schools and mentally ill people or whatever. And from what I know, it's about men. I honestly don't know. I really don't know what it's about. Tell me though in the comments if you've read this, because I want to know. I want to see what you think. I want to read what you think. Please let me know. But I'm really excited to read this. I haven't hauled it yet. So yeah. Anyway, I have this book as well for dark academia, and that is How We Fall Apart by Katie Zhao. It's about students at like a high school that's like very fancy. It's like a boarding school maybe kind of situation. And there's like a clique. And then one of the people in the clique, like the leader, I think, like dies. Like they're dead. It's like a bummer. And then everyone is like, oh my God, you totally killed your friend. You totally killed your friend. Like that's so rude. And they're like, no, me? I would not, me kill my friend? No way. It's like that kind of vibe. So I'm excited. I also love this cover. I have a bone to pick with you, okay? And that is that we never talk about manga. And you might be saying, Jordaline, you're the one talking in this video. Why am I being confronted? And that's a very good point. And also deflection. We never talk about manga, but I really want to do a reading vlog where I read all of Shuzo Oshimi's work. I want to talk to you about it because I think I might do it this month. I have most of what Shuzo Oshimi has published in English. Most of it. Not all of it, but most. In this reading vlog, I want to read, first of all of the volumes that are currently out for Blood on the Tracks. Look at this book. This gives me the chills. There's something so ennui and like terrifying about just this. I don't know why. Anyway, but look at the back. Oh my God. I think I'm on like volume like 7 or something. So I want to restart the series and just read through all of them. Apparently around this volume, things start to change. Things start to go a little bit more like in a different direction. So I'm excited. If you don't know, this is basically about the relationship between a son and his mother. It's horrifying. And you're like, what do you mean? Trust me, Tiffany, it's not fun. It's not a fun read. I also want to read this book, Avant-Garde Yumiko. This is, from what I understand, about a girl named Yumiko who is obsessed with drawing phallic objects. And by phallic objects, I mean dicks. She's like obsessed with penises. I think this is just a one-shot as well. So it's just this one volume and that's it. I don't want to say I'm excited to read this because I'm honestly not, but I'm interested for sure. By the way, in case you're wondering, I did return the second copy that I had. I returned it to Amazon, so what was that? Thank you. Inside Mari by Shuzo Oshimi. This is one of his series that I don't ever talk about because I honestly haven't read it yet, like any of it. But it's with this guy, he's like in his 20s. He like body swaps with this high school girl. And I think it gets dark after that. I don't know. I don't know what to expect, but I'm excited to read it when I read it. We have Happiness by, again, Shuzo Oshimi. This is my favorite cover. This is about like vampires. And honestly, if I'm being honest with you, Tiffany, when I first read like the first, I think 4 volumes, terrified. I was scared. I was literally frightened. There are certain images in this that just, they don't want to leave me, and I don't like that. I'm excited though to finish the series because I started it and then I never finished it. You may know that I buy a lot of manga, but I don't read most of it, any of it. And I want to change that. I want to be a better person. Finally, lastly, we have Welcome Back, Alice. It's hard to explain. So this kid, he's in middle school, right? He has his best friend, like I think his name is Kay or something. And like both of them are like besties. Our main character has a crush on this girl. And then one day, I think it's like at the end of the school year, our main character is like walking down the road or whatever, and he looks down an alley, and who does he see but Kay making out with his crush. Literally, it's so rude. Our main character is like, what the hell? And Kay sees him, and literally they're like making out, and he's like, yeah, and then he like grabs her butt. It's like, it's rude, honestly. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. This kid is like 13, and he's, anyway, sadistic. Then high school, right? Kay after that moved away. Nobody heard from him like again. And then high school, the first day, they're like, hey, we need to introduce our new student. Kay is now femme presenting. So everyone's like, what is going on? Things go from there because Kay and our main character sort of, I don't know if they become friends again, but it's like a whole thing. I'm interested to see where this goes. Now that we've talked about manga, let's talk about the other books that I just generally want to read. First of all, 3 of the 4 books I have left, I have not hauled. And I do this every single time I have a TBR video. I'm like, let me just do all the books that I haven't hauled. Like, anyway, I have The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. I wasn't gonna buy this, to be honest. Like, I had no interest in it. And then I saw a bunch of people like on my Patreon, on YouTube, whatever, reading it and like reviewing it and saying that they loved it. Oh. So I was in the bookstore, you know how you're in the bookstore sometimes and you see a book and you're like, oh my God, I didn't expect to see you here. No, I'm shy, stop. Okay, fine, I'll take you home. It's like that kind of thing, and that's literally what I did to this book. I was like, oh my God, you're here. Hi. From what I understand, this is about a bunch of writers who go to like a retreat, but then I think it's like an evil retreat or something. That sounds so dumb, but like I think that's what it's about. I'm excited to read it, and I honestly love this cover so much. I don't know why. I think it's the green mixed with the gray. I really enjoy it. The only thing I don't like is this. I'm like, you didn't need to put that there. I didn't need that. Personally, me, I didn't need it, but I can see why they would put it there. A book I've had on my shelves for I think probably a year, but I've never really even thought about reading it. And then when I saw it today, I was like, maybe I should actually just like give that a shot. And that is Pearl by Josh Mallerman. From what I know, like, listen, I could be wrong. I don't know. This is about a pig named Pearl. Pearl is like a homicidal pig. And I think Pearl has the ability to control minds. Let me read you the inside flap. It says, go to the farm just outside of town and you'll hear it. A voice inside your head. Or is it? Come to me. A voice that makes you pick up the axe over in the corner of the barn and swing it and kill. Feed us. Feed us now. It is the voice of Pearl. Sing for me. Sing for your precious Pearl. Like, I feel like Pearl, like just from that, I'm like, Pearl is telekinetic or whatever. Is that the right word? Like, she's like mind controlling bitches. She's like Professor X, but if he was a pig and evil, like that's the vibe. Honestly, I haven't read anything from Josh Malerman in a while. Also, what's weird is that Josh Malerman, if you go to the bookstores, and like at least the bookstores I go to, like every time I go, Josh Malerman, for some reason, is in like the general fiction. And every time I go, I'm like, why is this motherfucker here? Like, he's a horror author. Like these books are horror. What? Anyway, next I have this book, which is Flower Heart by Catherine Bakewell. Look at this cover, Tiffany. Tiffany, are you looking? It's stunning. Oh. Oh. Did I buy this book for the cover? Yes, but also it was described as cottagecore fantasy. That's literally all I need. So this is about Clara, who I'm assuming is on the cover. Clara, she's got magic powers, right? But they've really never been like an issue. Like it's never been like dangerous for anyone. And then Clara touches her dad one day and boom, he starts having like flowers and shit growing in his lungs, in his chest. And they're like, this could be bad. Like this could be like very dangerous. Clara is like, well, I fucked up, so I have to figure out what to do. Like, I need to figure out a way to save my papa. Papa? Oh, I love that. I should call everyone papa from now on. I love that. Anyway, I think with the help of a guy who's like gonna be like the love interest, she has to like go to do something. So it says the only way to heal him is to cast an extremely difficult spell. And the only person willing to help her is her former best friend, Xavier, Professor X, who's grown from a sweet, shy child into a mysterious and distant man. Wow. Xavier asks for a terrible price in return, knowing Clara will give anything to save her father. As she struggles to reconcile with the new Xavier, with the boy she once loved, she discovers their bargain is only one of the heavy secrets he's hiding. And as she hunts for the truth, she instead finds a root of terrible darkness that's taken hold in the queendom. A darkness only Clara's magic is powerful enough to stop. I am interested. Excuse me. Listen, I am certainly interested to see what happens with this. It is YA, which I don't love, but cottagecore fantasy, like that's all I needed, to be honest. Then the final book in my TBR that I want to talk to you about, Tiffany, is this book, which I bought quite recently that I'm so excited to read that I wanted to include it in this video because I'm just excited. And that is Kagan the Damned by Jonathan Maberry. Maberry. It's not your berry, it's my berry. How often do you think he hears that? He must hear that all the time. This is a high fantasy adult novel. And in this, we're following this guy named Kagan. Kagan is like number fucking one. Kagan is the leader, like the captain of the King's Guard. Like he's very high up in rank. And then, like medieval times terms, he gets canceled. Everyone's like, oh my God. Kagan, disgusting. We hate him. We hate him. He's the worst. And so Kagan is like exiled or like banned or something. I don't really know why. Maybe he did something gross. I don't know. But he gets canceled, right? And then Kagan is like, you know, off on his own and has to go and live just like a sad life now because everyone hates him for some reason. I don't know why. Like a few years pass, right? And Kagan, he returns to the palace. He returns to his old little friends that like, you know, the king and the queen and all of his guard buddies, but he's bitter. He has been brewing in his bitterness and he's been drinking the haterade. He wants revenge. I can't do it. I can't roll my R's. Revenge. He shows up and everyone's like, oh my God, Kagan, you look worse. You thought it was over for me? It's over for you. It's over for you. You guys are gonna regret the day you ever canceled me. I'm really excited to read this because like I said in my reading vlog where I mentioned it, I love a problematic queen. I love a girl who just like can't take no for an answer, who doesn't know how to die. You know what I mean? Like I love that. So I'm really excited. Also, it's blurbed by Michael Moorcock. Oh my God, Maberry and Moorcock. Plus the sequel is also out. So if I really like it, I can buy the sequel as well. Excuse me. It's like literally, it's so rude. It's so rude. Like, who do they think they are? my friends, my family, my familia. Thank you so much for being here, for watching this whole thing. If you did, I so appreciate it. You know, I appreciate it so much. And I hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Don't forget to hit subscribe, because we talk about spooky shit. We talk about creepy shit. We talk about whatever we want to talk about. And manga and dark academia. And our best friend, Sam. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Au revoir. Goodbye. I feel like my makeup today looks so good. Like, okay.